RCTP, Beginner to 512, Level 4, 510C to 511A, Part 3. At this point, you guys should really start practicing your dynos, and I know that some people can be a little intimidated with doing dynos, and most of the time I think that they're not actually afraid of the jump, and they can actually strive at doing the jump, but they're not as good at catching a hold. So what you need to really do when you're focusing on dynoing is catching a hold. And we're going to go over a lot of dynoing technique in the next few videos. When you first start trying to do dynos, you think that the jump is the key component here, but it's really not. It's actually about catching the last hold. So here's a video where we're going to watch a person who's in a bouldering competition, and the setters have made it so that the last move is you have to catch the last hold. So we're going to see she's slowly starts to get ready. She goes to commit. Renee's going to perform a dyno using two different techniques. This is a double dyno where she jumps with both hands going to the same hold. Renee curls her legs back or kicks her feet up in order to make that dyno. One more time from a different angle. Here we'll watch as Renee gets into position and she jumps up, she kicks her legs back to absorb some of that energy, and then she repositions herself back on the wall. And that's how you make that dyno. Here we're going to watch me as I start on this red route, and I'm going to use a little bit of my upper body and kind of swing back and forth to help generate momentum so that I can jump and hit that next hold. Bumping with weight in your hand and foot. In the 10C range, I start to notice a few people have difficulties with bumping while your weight is in that current hand or in that foot. So this would be an example where I have right now all of my weight is mostly inside of this left hand, and I have to bump it up to that next hold. And so there's two main reasons why people sometimes struggle with this. The first one is that this is a pretty strong move, so you might need to learn how to just relax your muscles and move it dynamically and then catch the next hold. These type of dynamic movements might not be normal to you because you've been really focused on trying to make a lot more static movements when you don't have weight in that hand or foot. The second thing that might be a little nerve-wracking for you is this actually takes a little bit more of a mental commitment. So you might just have to breathe and say, okay, I'm going to commit to the next move. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try. And then you got to just push yourself. And the more you push yourself and the more you practice this type of move, the more you'll be able to get it. Use hand moisturizer at night. This is a really good technique to help you climb multiple days in a row. What you want to be doing is just right before bed, put hand moisturizer on. Renee and I recently took a trip to Red Rocks, and before we went on this trip, about a week before we went, we climbed about 3 to 4 days inside at a regular gym, and each night we put hand moisturizer on to help prep our fingers so that when we could climb at Red Rocks, what we'll be able to do is to climb multiple days in a row there. So we climbed for a total of 5 days that we were there. We climbed the first 3 days, we took a rest day on the 4th day, and then we climbed the 5th day. Ideally, if we could have done it a little bit more, we could have also climbed the 6th day and just extended our stay. But with the nature that we booked our flights, that's just what we had to do. Roof, foot, drill. When you're at the 11C, D level, you might start climbing some roofs like this, and this can be, fairly intimidating for a person to do. And then also once you get there, if you notice, this is all lead only, so you have to be leading these routes. And sometimes, you're a little intimidated to do a move that you've never done before on lead, and climbing a roof kind of feels a little different. So I'm going to show you what I've found as a drill that you can do that's low to the ground on like a boulder area, and what it does is that it actually just kind of gives you a taste of what that movement feels like so that you can climb roofs. So this is to simulate what it feels like to climb on a roof. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my foot on the hold first before I can put my hand on it. You just saw me do it there, and I'll repeat it again. Doing this drill just kind of gets you used to the motion that you make while you're on a roof, where sometimes you just have to kind of put your foot into a more awkward position where it's really up high, and then you kind of match with your hands afterwards. And this is good practice down to the ground before you do it on a lead wall.